It really feels like we're in the middle of a massive shift in how we create things. The tools we're all using every single day, well, they're doing more than just helping us with tasks. They're quietly building the next great creative era. So let's dive in and explore what that actually means. So let's just start with this one big question. What if the apps you have open in your browser right now aren't just convenient little tools, but are actually the fundamental building blocks for the entire future of creativity? It's a pretty powerful idea, right? And honestly, it changes everything about how we think of making things. All right, so let's explore this next creative era. We are moving way beyond seeing AI as just a simple assistant. We're stepping into a time where it's a true creative partner, woven right into the very fabric of how we think, design, and bring ideas to life. To really get a handle on this shift, we need to take a look at our new digital toolkit. We're going to focus on 4 key players here that each represent a different but equally powerful part of this new creative workflow. So let's meet the team. Now, instead of just thinking of these as pieces of software, let's frame them as roles on a creative dream team. You've got ChatGPT as the architect, Google's NotebookLM as the researcher, Canva as the designer, and Midjourney as the visionary. Put them all together, and they form one seriously powerful creative engine. Let's kick things off with the architect. This is where it all begins, ChatGPT. It's not just for asking random questions, it's for building the entire blueprint of a project. You can give it a simple spark of an idea, something like an eco-friendly coffee brand, and boom. It can construct the whole narrative, the brand mission, the core values, the story that everything else will be built on. Okay, next up on the team, the researcher. That's NotebookLM. Think of this as your own personal research assistant on steroids. It can digest huge amounts of information. We're talking market research, competitor analysis, all your own notes, and it connects the dots for you, pulling out the crystal clear, actionable insights you need to move forward. Then, of course, we have the designer. Canva has been a total game changer, right? It takes all those concepts and narratives from the architect and turns them into polished, professional-looking visuals in minutes, not weeks. It is the execution engine for your brand's entire look and feel. And finally, we have the visionary, Midjourney. This is where things get kind of magical. This tool does something truly remarkable. It translates pure imagination, just words you type, into completely unique visual worlds and aesthetics. You can prompt it with something wild, like a cozy coffee shop inside a futuristic forest, and it literally generates the artistic soul of your project. So these roles all sound great in theory, but how do they actually work together in the real world? Let's look at a super concrete example, building an entire online brand from scratch in a single day. I know, it sounds impossible, but with this toolkit, it's really not. Here's how the workflow breaks down. Step 1. You use the architect, ChatGPT, to write your brand's story, its mission, its voice. Step 2. You take that story over to the designer, Canva, to build out all your logos and visual assets. And step 3, you bring in the visionary, Midjourney, to generate a whole library of unique images that create an aesthetic nobody else on the planet has. It's the whole shebang, from idea to launch in a day. So look, this is about way more than just being fast. This new workflow represents a fundamental shift in creative power. Let's dig into why this matters for literally everyone on a much, much larger scale. What we're really witnessing here is the democratization of creativity. What does that mean? It means these tools are giving individual creators, entrepreneurs, and artists the kind of power that, until very, very recently, was only available to huge agencies or giant corporations with massive teams and even bigger budgets. Let's just put this in perspective for a second. The old way of creating something big, it required massive resources. We're talking large teams, huge budgets, and painfully long timelines. The new way, it's all about empowered individuals using accessible tools to create things at lightning speed. The barrier to entry has basically just vanished. And that brings us to this number, 1. That's how many people it can now take to develop, design, and launch a world-class idea. Just one person. One person with a clear vision and the right digital toolkit can now compete with an entire creative agency. Just let that sink in for a moment. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Does this mean humans are becoming obsolete? And the answer is a resounding no. Far from it. This new era isn't about replacement at all. It's about collaboration. It's about creating this incredibly powerful partnership between human creativity and artificial intelligence.
And this is the crucial takeaway right here. The future isn't automated, it's augmented. The most valuable skill going forward isn't doing everything yourself. It's knowing how to be the director, how to guide these powerful tools to bring your unique human vision to life.
So we'll end with this thought. For the very first time in history, the tools to build something truly amazing, a brand, a story, a work of art, are accessible to pretty much everyone. The toolkit of an entire creative agency is sitting right there at your fingertips. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build?